Philadelphia. Of the 7 churches, only Philadelphia receives a letter with no rebuke. Not the lovelessness of Ephesus. Not the deadness of Sardis. Not the lukewarmness that is yet to come. To the church in Philadelphia, Christ writes words of pure commendation. I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. You have kept my word and have not denied my name. It is the only letter of the 7 with nothing against the church. In the Historicist reading, Philadelphia is the age of revival and mission, the age of the great awakenings, the age when the gospel went to the ends of the earth. And the city itself had written the parable of the age, the youngest of the 7 cities, and the last to fall, the city of the open door, that kept the faith when every other city of Asia had let it go. Philadelphia stood in the valley of the river Pergamus, in the province of Asia, on the great road from the coast to the inner lands of Phrygia. It was the youngest of the 7 cities, founded by Attalus the Second, king of Pergamum, called Philadelphus, lover of his brother, for his devotion to Eumenes, the brother he loved. The city took its name from the love, Philadelphia, brotherly love. Its position made it a gateway, the door between the old Greek world of the coast and the vast country of the east, the city through which the caravans and the armies of the empire passed. It was a city of doors, and the church in the city of doors was promised an open door that no one could shut. But Philadelphia stood in one of the most earthquake-ravaged regions of the ancient world. The valley of the Herrnhut and the Pergamus trembled constantly, the ground shook, and the city shook with it. In the year 17 after Christ, the great earthquake that destroyed Sardis and 11 other cities of Asia shattered Philadelphia as well. The Emperor Tiberius forgave the city its tribute and sent money for rebuilding. The grateful city took the name Neocaesarea, the city of the Caesar, and later added the name Flavia. But the names of emperors could not still the earth, the tremors continued, the walls cracked and fell, the people learned to live outside the city, ready to flee at the first shaking. And the promise to the church in that city was written in the language of its own fear: the conqueror will be a pillar in the temple of my God, and never again will he leave it. And yet the city endured. When the old centers of Asia faded and fell, Philadelphia remained. When the empire fell, Philadelphia remained. Through the centuries of the Byzantine Age, Philadelphia was a Christian city, and as the Turks advanced across Asia Minor, city after city fell, until Philadelphia stood almost alone. In the year 1392, the last Christian city of Asia Minor was taken. The city of brotherly love had held the faith for more than 1,000 years. Even under the new rulers, Christians remained in Philadelphia longer than in any other city of Asia. The youngest of the 7 cities was the last to fall. These are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. No other letter of the 7 opens with this title. To the faithful church, Christ presents himself as the Holy One, the True One, the one whose words are not like the words of emperors, whose names and decrees could be shaken and erased, and he presents himself as the one who holds the key of David, the key of the house of God. The city of Philadelphia, new keys and doors, a gateway city, a city of doors, a city whose own gates had been shaken and rebuilt. And Christ speaks to that church as the one who holds the key of the true temple, and the door he opens, no one can shut. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. In the age of Philadelphia, the open door became the mission of the church to the whole world. In the Historicist reading, the age of Philadelphia is the age of the Great Awakenings, the age of Wesley and Whitefield, of the Moravians, of the revival that swept the Protestant world in the 18th century, and it is the age of the missionary movement that followed, the age when the gospel was carried to every continent, Carey to India, Judson to Burma, the Bible societies that put the scriptures into the languages of the world. The door that had stood half-closed since the Reformation was flung open. The church of little strength went through a door that no one could shut. The door was the world. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name. The faithful church is not the strong church. It is the church of little strength, small, despised, overlooked, the church that had no reputation, no power, no place among the great. And it kept the word. The church of little strength is the church of the faithful remnant through the ages, the Moravians at Herrnhut, praying and sending out missionaries before the great churches had begun, the small bands of believers in the awakenings, holding the word open and obeying it. They kept my word, not the word of the state, not the word of the age, but the word of Christ, and they did not deny his name when the name was costly. The door is not for the strong, it is for the faithful. I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews though they are not, but are liars, I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. The same word was spoken to Smyrna, the synagogue of Satan, those who claimed the name of the people of God and were not. In the Historicist reading, the false claim is the claim of the old church, the church that called itself the true Israel, while the faithful were despised and cast out. And Christ promises the church of Philadelphia, the ones who despise you will come and bow at your feet and know that I have loved you. The church the world counted as nothing is the church Christ loved. Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth. The hour of trial, the great tribulation, is coming on the whole world. And to the church that kept the word, Christ gives a promise in the language of the age, I will keep you from the hour of trial. The faithful are not promised escape from all trial, they are promised preservation through the trial, kept by the one who holds the key. In the age of Philadelphia, the hour of trial has been read as the tribulation that was to fall on the world, the shaking of thrones and nations in the revolutions and wars that followed the age of revival, and the faithful, the keepers of the word, were kept. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown. The coming of Christ is the hope of the faithful church, not a threat, as to Sardis, but a promise, I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have. The church of Philadelphia had received something, the word, the name, the open door, and the command is to hold it, so that no one takes the crown. The crown is the reward of the faithful, the crown of life, the crown kept for those who hold fast. In the age of Philadelphia, the promise of the coming was the hope that carried the awakening, the second coming preached again, the church watching for its Lord. The one who is victorious I will make a pillar in the temple of my God. Never again will they leave it. The promise to the conqueror is written in the language of the city's own fear, the city of earthquakes, where pillars cracked and buildings fell, where nothing could be trusted to stand. And Christ promises the conqueror of Philadelphia, you will be a pillar in the temple of my God, and never again will you leave it. A pillar in the temple of God, fixed, firm, secure, bearing the weight of the house of God through all the shaking of the world. The church that could not trust the ground beneath it is promised a place that cannot be shaken. What the earthquake city could not give, Christ gives, permanence. I will write on them the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which is coming down out of heaven from my God, and I will also write on them my new name. The city that had been renamed by emperors, Neocaesarea, Flavia, names given by the powers of the age and erased by time, is promised a name written by the hand of God. 3 names are written on the conqueror, the name of God, marking the one who belongs to him, the name of the city of God, the New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven, marking the one whose citizenship is in the city that cannot fall, and the new name of Christ himself. The names of emperors were written on the shaken city and faded, the name of God is written on the faithful and cannot be erased. Whoever has ears, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. The Spirit is still speaking. The letter to Philadelphia is the letter of the open door and the faithful church, the church of little strength that kept the word, the church given a door no one could shut, the church promised a pillar in the temple, a name written by God, and the city that comes down from heaven. The age of Philadelphia opened the door of the gospel to the whole world, and pointed beyond itself to the coming of the Lord. The faithful church is the church that holds what it has received. The door is still open. The coming is still near. The crown is still kept. This is the Unsealed, history through the lens of prophecy.